Hey there, it's Jim and Debbie.
And I'm Meaghan.
And this is Take a Sip live on the Midday Minute.
Yes, our favorite time of the year.
It's a crossover episode, everybody. We are back. Of course, we have some huge news today. We are going to announce the 2024 class of Impact Grant recipients. That's news that deserves a special setting, this glorious room with lots of star power. We've got the biggest names on our ENF channel, all here in one room to bring you this news, right?
Yes, very exciting.
So exciting.
But before we get into that, why don't we just tell our viewers who may not be as familiar with the SIP, what is the Impact Grant and how did the selection process work?
Sure. So the Community Investments Program has a multitude of grants. The Impact Grant is the biggest one that we have. It's worth $10,000 and it is the most competitive grant that we have to date. So the Impact Grant, we had 220 lodges submit intents. Out of those 220, only 40 moved on to the application stage. And out of those 40, we have approved 9 Impact Grant recipients for the class of 2024.
So that's 9 recipients, each receiving $10,000, $90,000 we are going to award today. Very, very exciting, right?
Yes.
That's math I could have done.
I didn't want to take any chances after the 3 takes it took at the top of the show. Okay, should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
SIDS is the 3rd highest cause of death in infants. The risk is 4 times greater in a single parent family. Risk increases if the parents smoke, and regardless of whether they smoke, it increases in low-income households versus higher-income households. Now, what is Elmwood Park, Paterson, New Jersey Lodge number 60 going to do about this issue?
So Elmwood Park, Princeton, New Jersey Lodge number 60 is going to use an impact grant to reduce the sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, and address postpartum depression by distributing sleep-safe boxes containing educational materials and essential newborn items like diapers and anything that they need to new parents who are living below the poverty line.
And what's the title of this project?
This title, I need to take a breath, is Jacqueline Wishes You Sweet Dreams and a Safe Sleep, SIDS Prevention and Postpartum Depression Education.
Now, I assume Jacqueline is died of SIDS, is that correct?
That seems to be, yes. So Jacqueline was the granddaughter
of a member, right?
Yeah, of a lodge member who unfortunately passed away from SIDS. This lodge member was very inspired and wanted to ensure that it doesn't happen to anyone else in their community. So she started making these sleep-safe boxes. The lodge was then inspired by her to create their own project that we have now funded with the Impact Grant.
This is such a unique project and really speaks to exactly what we were hoping to get to back in 2008 when we started the Impact Grants, which is a need in the community and a project developed around it. And it's such an important project, again, born out of the fact that this happened to somebody in a lodge member's family.
Exactly.
And there's an element of postpartum depression as well with this project, am I correct?
That's right.
Yes, correct, which is a very serious illness that happens after pregnancy and birth. I think you mentioned a good stat about that.
Up to 20% of postpartum deaths were due to suicide. So.
It's so tragic, and I love that this project is going to provide the education and resources, and they're going to be partnering with Cribs for Kids to make sure that the information that they're sharing is accurate. The sleep boxes have blankets and swaddling blankets and pacifiers, which really prove in research to reduce SIDS for babies. And I love the partnerships too that they've cultivated through the NICU units,
yes, exactly.
neonatal intensive care units, and food pantries as well.
I'm going to be honest, as I was prepping for the show and I was skimming through the applications and I read about the sleep safe box, I had a wait, what moment? Like, I thought we were giving out boxes for the babies to sleep in. And then I read a little bit and I realized, okay, that's the literature's it's a box full of materials that are going to help educate people about how to lower the risk of SIDS.
Exactly,
Yes.
and to give everything that they need.
Yeah, but it was a wait, what moment. No wait, what moment about this next one.
Yes.
3 out of 5 seniors are eligible for the SNAP program. And in February of this year, SNAP allotment per person was reduced in Ohio by at least $95 per month. Now, these cuts hit senior citizens and other people on fixed income hardest. So what is Hamilton, Ohio Lodge number 93 going to do for its Butler County senior citizens?
Yes, Hamilton, Ohio, Lodge number 93 will address food insecurity among seniors in the Butler County area by efficiently shopping, boxing, and delivering food through its project Food Security for our Butler County seniors.
It's pretty cool that this project was a result of the Lodge using its gratitude grant to support jobs and family services in that community. And they indicate in their application that there are 400 to 500 seniors in which they might be able to serve with these food security, these supplies. I love that it's an immediate response sort of grant, so they'll get a name from the county Jobs and Family Services program and then be able to get to the lodge, get the supplies that are needed, and get those out to the people who are actually in need of them.
Exactly, and we love to see that with the Impact Grant, it being an expansion of one of the smaller grants, and Hamilton really outshined us there. It's also very exciting because it is the first Ohio Lodge that we've had for an Impact Grant since 2017.
Wow.
Wow.
That's good news.
Yeah.
OH.
I-O.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to our third recipient. In January of 2022, more than 33,000 veterans were experiencing homelessness on a given night. Now, 200 of them live in Washington County, Rhode Island, known locally as South County. Westerly, Rhode Island Lodge number 678, not going to stand for that.
No, sirree, they are not going to, because they are going to use an impact grant to establish the Elks Dare to Care Needs Pantry, which will provide essential items such as food, clothing, hygiene supplies, tents, sleeping bags, and other assistance like home repairs to veterans experiencing and transitioning out of homelessness in their area.
I love the title of this project, Elks Dare to Care, because I feel like it kind of encapsulates what all Elks Lodges want to do, and they are going to do it right there in South County. They indicate that approximately 200 veterans are experiencing homelessness in their county, and I like that it's kind of on the spectrum. So they're going to be providing supplies for individuals who are currently experiencing homelessness or unhoused, as well as individuals who have recently been housed, in providing them with what they need to make a home. Jim and I just talked to Mary Morgan last month for the episode about all about vets. So if you're interested in taking a deeper dive and knowing more about that topic, please tune into episode 82.
Exactly.
Now, all these Elks efforts are paying off, not just this impact grant, which I'm sure will help, but our spotlight grants and the grants that are coming out of the Veteran Service Commission that we fund, all this focus on helping to eliminate the problem is making a difference. The 33,000 seems like a large number, but it has decreased. It's decreased dramatically in the past 13 years. But all of these lodges that have gotten involved with the fight are taking chunks out of those numbers. The numbers of veterans experiencing homelessness have decreased dramatically since 2010, but even since we got involved formally in September of 2015, the numbers have really reduced. So projects like this one, like our spotlight grants, like grants that are funded or that are coming out of the Veteran Service Commission but funded by us, all of it is making a difference.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And something interesting about this lodge in particular, they use all of their smaller grants for one single project each year, which I think is very helpful. They work with the Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center to provide food for kids out of school. And so I think they really have a great way of identifying the needs, the most important needs in their community, and using SIP grants to help with it.
I would go so far as to say that that's really a best practice for the SIP. Like if you want to be known for something in your community, consider using those smaller grants to do one thing and do it well.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And with our new gratitude grant bonus, all of you have the opportunity to get up to $10,000, which is the same amount as an impact grant. So.
All right, speaking of a problem that just seems insurmountable, more than 170,000 people experience homelessness in California. That's most in the nation, which you'd expect because it's the largest state in the nation in terms of population. Now, about 1,000 of them are in Santa Ana, and 48% in general of Orange County's sheltered homeless are women. So Santa Ana Lodge number 794 has figured out a way to make that large number smaller in carve out a little niche where it can make a difference.
Yes, exactly, and that is through their project, Empowering Women in Need, Elks Compassion in Action. And this program will support unhoused women and children by conducting events, including wellness days, career planning workshops, baby showers, and literacy parties.
Those stats were really incredible that they included in their application. Not only that 44% of all women in the United States live in California, but that 40% of the women, those women are actually experiencing homelessness. That's a lot of people. And I love that they actually have a lot of experience working with these individuals, this lodge does, and I'm just really excited about the fact they're going to be able to kind of fill a gap where city and county governments tend to really focus on really the big issues, which is of course mental health issues and like getting individuals into homes, but then everything else is kind of left to local nonprofits or Elks lodges.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a wonderful project, and I'm really looking forward to what goes on in 2024.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, successful impact grant lodges tend to have prior experience with the issue, and they've tackled
Absolutely.
the issue with the smaller grants, and then they're ready to make that leap, or to borrow it, from Westerly. They're ready to dare to make that leap and for an impact grant. Right?
Exactly.
Okay, coast to coast, LA to Tiffin, Georgia. Last year, 48% of nonprofits had a drop in revenue, and at the same time, 68% of nonprofits had increased demand for their services in their communities. At the same time, 93% are spending more on staffing, 78% are trying to fill staff vacancies. Half are struggling to deliver programs and services due to staff shortages. Consider all that, there's not much left over in time or treasure for maintaining facilities. So what is Tiffin, Georgia Lodge number 1114 going to do about that?
They are going to establish the Elks Community Outreach Program, or ECOP, a facility maintenance initiative for local charities and nonprofits, aiming to relieve the financial burdens, enhance safety, and just help nonprofits help the Tiffin community.
ECOP doesn't really roll off your tongue.
It really doesn't.
But I'm going to try to get behind it. I love how niche this program is. I think it's so wonderful that they had been using their gratitude grant since I think maybe 1920, to help support different nonprofits. And I really saw this as something they could do to make a difference so that those nonprofits could continue to work on their missions without having to worry about, a leaky pipe or a carpet that needed to be cleaned or repaired or whatever it was. Like, that's what the lodge is going to do so that those organizations can continue on doing what they do.
Exactly. And something I loved about this lodge in particular, they've already had these connections with so many nonprofits in their communities. And so they had plans for years down the line on how they would use the impact grant to still help these nonprofits keep their lights on, which is a huge issue, like Jim mentioned.
Okay. So, did you guys know that 1 in 36 children in the US has autism? Now, one thing we know about children with autism is that eventually they grow up to be adults with autism. And only 1.1% of those adults on the autism spectrum receive employment services they need to find jobs. Now, this is a cause that's near and dear to the leadership at South Miami Coral Gables, Florida Lodge number 1676. Why is that? And what are they going to do about it?
Yes, so they will empower individuals on the autism spectrum by promoting self-esteem and enhancing social and life skills through job fairs, open mic nights, and karaoke nights, and other events through its project Autism Outreach Program.
They're collaborating with the University of Miami's Center on Autism and Related Disorders. So they're going to be working with that organization to do these big quarterly events, but not just big quarterly events. They're going to be doing monthly events also, like social events at the lodge. Meaghan, I know you had a couple favorites coming out of this application. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I thought it was a really wonderful project. This lodge seems happening. They have stuff going on every single night. And a leader at the lodge is actually on the autism spectrum. So it has such a personal connection to the lodge and that community, similar to New Jersey 60. And having that personal connection shine really touched my heart, and it made me very excited to see what they're able to do.
I believe that there are some magicians that are members of the lodge and that are going to be teaching some magic tricks, musicians as well.
Exactly.
So those are part of the monthly events that will be happening, along with the very important skills of resume writing and job seeking skills that will be taking place with individuals on the autism spectrum.
All right, let's move up the eastern seaboard. 80% of kids who live in low-income areas lose reading skills over summer break. 61% of families living below the poverty line have no age-appropriate books at home. Danielson, Connecticut Lodge number 1706 is partnering with the Brooklyn Cares Community Center to change the story.
Yes, they are. And they're going to implement monthly reading programs, activities, and little free libraries to ensure that children receive both books and healthy food to take home for its project, Turn the Page on Hunger and Literacy.
Again, this lodge got started with this sort of project by doing a summer literacy project. What I particularly love about this is that the community center in which they'll be working is a satellite office of the larger library in their community. So they recognize the town and certainly the lodge that all individuals don't have the ability to get to the main campus of the library. And so they're setting up this satellite office in which it's right there. People can go in, get a book, read a book, leave a book, all those things that you can do with the free little library. Not only that, it's not just about the reading, but they're going to be doing all sorts of things to incorporate the kids in like decorating the bookshelves and healthy snacks and teaching, reading books and then teaching the skills to make those snack items or whatever it is. So I'm really excited about this one. All of them I'm excited about, but this one too. I can't wait to see what the community center becomes because of the Danielson Elks involvement.
Exactly. I thought because with their gratitude grant they used before to help the library, while their library was being renovated, the Elks Lodge essentially stepped up to become the library for their community. Personally, I was a huge fan of the satellite office of my library growing up. I was a voracious reader and I couldn't get to the main library because it was so far away in my big town. And so it genuinely saved my life in my summers. And so I know that the Elks Lodge here is going to have the same effect on kids.
Wonderful.
All right, two more. Uno en cinco los niños en edad escolar hablan un idioma distinto del inglés en casa. Now, if that was difficult for you to understand, it could be because my Spanish is not very good. But seriously, imagine trying to advocate for your child's education when you don't speak any or much English. The folks at Princeton, New Jersey Lodge number 2129 engaged in that thought exercise, and it touched their hearts.
Yes, très bien. I took French.
As did I.
But the Princeton, New Jersey Lodge did not, because they are planning to bridge language gaps through its project, Bridging Lingo through ELL, or the English Learner Initiative, by providing a TEFL certificate program, course materials, supplementary resources, and technology assistance to empower parents in participating actively in their child's education.
I think they're going to be ready to hit the ground running on January, we'll say 2nd, as they conducted an 8-week pilot of this project before applying for the impact grant.
Exactly. So, it was super impressive to see the success that they had already built with this program, and I have no doubt in my mind that they are going to be incredibly successful in implementing this in their community to a year-long initiative instead of just 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I hope we hear more about that project as it unfolds, because New Jersey can be kind of shy.
Exactly. They had 17 New Jersey lodges apply for the impact grant this year, which is pretty great. 2 of them ended up getting, 2 out of 9 ended up getting an impact grant. So thank you, New Jersey, for really stepping up and showing us that the impact grant is important.
They really took Mike Smith's motto from his year as president, be loud, be proud, be visible, as their own.
In fairness, they've been loud and proud and visible since before it was cool.
Yes.
Speaking of cool, we are down to our final impact grant recipient
Do-do-do-do.
for 2024. 20% of adults in the United States care for a friend or family member. These adults provide every year $600 billion of free labor. Now, I've been one of those adults recently providing free labor, and so I was very excited to see this project. Why don't you tell our viewers what Wells-Maine Lodge number 2738 is going to do to care for the caregiver?
Yes, that you just hit the nail on the head there. They're going to initiate the Caring for the Caregiver program by establishing a monthly caregiver support group at the lodge. They're going to provide emotional, social, and material support through educational sessions and caregiver essential kits. And they'll be scheduling speakers on diverse topics such as stress management, wellness, elder law, and much, much more.
So important, such a great resource, and just like New Jersey 60, this also came about because of members' own personal experience, being a caregiver and not having the resources and the support needed to feel like they were being supported and successful in that endeavor. So this is going to be great.
Yes, I'm very excited. It's also the second impact grant from Maine, technically the third since Augusta got 2 impact grants, but essentially the second impact grant, which we love to see.
What do you mean by 2 impact grants?
They had 2 separate impact grants, yeah. Not in the same year.
And there you have it. That is our class of 2024. 9 really good, diverse projects.
Yeah.
A few tackling homelessness, but in different ways, right?
Right.
Exactly, pretty much all of the East Coast except for California.
So what are next steps?
So the next steps, if you received an impact grant, congratulations. I will be in contact with you to get out those assurances and get you your money so you can begin starting the project. For those of you who applied and want more information, I'll set up one-on-one interviews with you to talk about the judging panels and how we came to these decisions and what you can do next year to get on board and get an impact grant.
That feedback is so important as we review all these applications and we provide the feedback of why we think this could maybe use a little bit more tweaking in this next year. And also just kind of circling back to what we discussed earlier, which is in 2024-25, all lodges will have up to $10,000 in their small grants to get started on a project. And as you said, Jim, really best practice is combining those grants to address one need in your community. So that's the type of feedback you'll probably be giving, and those people who are eager to get an impact grant but weren't successful this year, work on that throughout 2024, and we'll be back with the Impact Intense. They open in April and are usually due somewhere in mid-August.
Correct.
And then before you know it, we'll be sitting right back here at this table in mid-December 2024 to talk about the 2025 impact grantees and to hear all the amazing things that this new class was able to accomplish in their first year.
Yes, very exciting. Congratulations to all of our 2024 impact grant recipients. We can't wait to see what you do.
Good luck.
So Meaghan, how much does it cost to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
You know what? It costs nothing, but you can give us a thumbs up in your YouTube link. You can see it right at the bottom here. Subscribe to get all of the information.
No, that's got to cost something, right? To get all this great content delivered to you?
It costs a whopping $0.
Oh my goodness.
Delivered right to your mailbox.
How about sharing? Hitting that share button? There's got to be a price on that.
That costs $50.
That comes at a premium.
No, I'm just
Listen,
kidding.
all this, it
$0.
doesn't hurt you, right? You got thumbs, let's use them. It's what separates us from the animals. We appreciate that, and it helps allow other people to learn more about this great program and what these lodges are going to do in their communities. Until next year, until next time. What's next for the Taking a Sip, Meaghan? What do you got lined up?
In January, I think we're going to be speaking to someone from Michigan. So if you're from Michigan, keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Whereabout are they in Michigan? Do you know?
Right here.
Right there? Okay. And what's going on with us at the Midday Minute in January?
Well,
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Bye.